This short demo illustrates the implementation of the WestLife virtual folder file browser into our DISVIS web portal. DISVIS is a web portal developed under the WestLife project that allows to visualize the accessible interaction space between proteins. What you are seeing now is the entry point for the production web portal, which is currently running both on local resources and making use of GPU resources provided by EGI. Let's have a look at the submission page. In the current settings, the user has to have all his data on his own computer and needs to provide a number of files for the server to work. The files that are required are structure files for proteins in PDB or MMSys format, so we need to provide 2 input files, and a simple list of distance restraints. Based on this information, DISVIS is going to calculate what is the accessible interaction space between the proteins. Now let's switch to our devel version of the server. You see the header has now changed, and the submission form has some additional fields. Those fields we just saw, this is the required minimal input for the server to work, and now we see that on this side 3 new fields have appeared that connect to the WestLife virtual folder. This allows me to browse data provided by Dropbox, for example, or B2Drop, and directly provide an address to the DISVIS portal. It means that I won't need to transfer the data first to my computer and then perform a second transfer to the DISVIS portal. The data will go directly from the virtual folder to the DISVIS web portal. So let's set up a run. I already entered the title, so let's make the connection to the DISVIS portal. I first need to log in into the virtual folder, and for this we use the single sign-on developed by Instruct, the ARIA system. The system has recognized my login, and now I have a view, an aggregated view of the data repositories at hand. I had to log in previously into the virtual folder through the WestLife portal. I added B2Drop as one of the repositories to which I have access, and that's why it's appearing here. Clicking on B2Drop is going to give me a view of the content of my current B2Drop directory. So let's select DISVIS, and now I have access to my data. No data are being transferred, I'm only browsing the repository at this stage. So I'm selecting the first structure. I'm going to do the same for the second structure. And I'm selecting a list of distance restraints for DISVIS. So now I'm almost ready to submit. I need to provide my credentials for the server. And I'm currently submitting the job. So there is no data transfer between the computer I'm using for the submission and the portal. The portal will use WebDAV addresses provided by the virtual folder to directly download the data. The submission, as you can see, has been successful, and the server is going to process my run, which is, as status currently is showing as queued. The job has now started running. It's currently running on our local resources in Utrecht, but I had the choice at submission time to also redirect it to the grid resources, accessing GPU sites, for example, at the Florence site. The final processing step has now been completed, images have been generated, and we can see directly on the server the accessible interaction space defined by a given number of restraints in different views. This completes this short demonstration of the implementation of the virtual folder file browser into our DISVIS web portal.